Hi there, everyone. Here we are talking about riches today and Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. It was written in 1937 and it is still the number one best selling book about sales and selling. And what happened is Dale Carnegie, who was, the big cheese at the time, the financial wizard, hired Napoleon Hill, who was young, to talk to the 500 top moneymakers and to find out how they would what they had learned in their life, and then come back to him and they would write a book about it. So I want you to think, if you had a free pass to a life of your choice, what riches would you want? Because Napoleon Hill is basically talking about financial riches, not witches, riches. But there's, my goodness, there's other riches too. You've got physical, your health, mental, spiritual, relationships, your emotions. So I want you to think, and you can look at it and say, oh, I want all of them, which of course we all want all of those good things. But start with one that you really want. And so his thing is you have to have a burning desire for it. Now, so what we're talking about here is what also you'll hear people talk about with manifesting. We're manifesting it into our life. I like to think of it as that we're growing it because we all have some of these things already. There's pieces of it that we have, but we want to grow it. And when we have one of these, it seems like other things kind of come together with it. So, burning desire, step number one. So, I think maybe what we need to do is have three words. For me, and I'll kind of base this a little bit on what I've been working on, because the thing is that it's easier. It's easier for me to show you things, and it's easier for you maybe to understand. So my richest thing is physical health. That's what I want to work on, is physical health, because I think it's the greatest riches that we have. If we are healthy, then we can face a lot of things. We can move a lot of those boulders that get in our way. So for me, it's physical health. That's my number one riches. And my words, my three words, because we have to become obsessed. We have to really focus on what it is we want. We have to, because that's how our brain works. Remember the raz that I talk about a lot, that little piece that's right back here in the back of our brain, kind of behind our ears, towards the middle a little bit, and they're shaped about the size of almonds. There's two of them, and it's our filter system. As I've told you, 400 billion little pieces of, of ideas flirting around, energy, little chunks of energy floating around everywhere. Our RAS, our reticular activating system, pulls in 22 of them. Then our brain says, hey, I can't deal with this many every second. So it divides it down to 7 of what we're thinking about for us to see, to show us. So we have to focus if we want to become this magnet, because we are like a magnet, like a radio tower, like we're one of those cell towers out there. And we are, that's how we're broadcasting to our cells to tell them what we want. Now if we don't do this, then just random things are coming, and it's what is out there, which right now is not always the best energy everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of negativity going on and a lot of negativity that people are spewing out. I'd rather focus on what it is I want. I want to be this receiving magnet for what it is I do want. So I'm going to become totally focused on how I want to live, how I want. So my 3 words are harmony, simplicity, and joy. Now, everything comes at a price. Nothing is free. If you haven't learned that yet, I'm breaking this bad news to you. Nothing is free. Everything has a price. Our job is to realize and say that the price we pay for this is not more than the value of what we're getting. Now, for me, physical health has a very high value because it means I can do the other things I want to do. So the value is high. What do I have to do to, what is my price going to be? What am I going to have to do? If I have this burning desire for health, what do I need to do? Now, I want to keep it simple. So I ask you, whatever it is you want the most, which one of these riches do you want? How are you going to be able to do it? What are your price going to pay? And you have to keep it simple because that's the way you're going to keep doing it. You're going to make the habits. Now, one of the things that I found that made a huge difference to me is I started to look at what the biggest fears are, because I thought, is this going to change anything for me? I didn't expect it to. I have honored my health. Okay. Number one, fear for people all over the world, fear of poverty. Now, if you want financial riches, refuse anything that leads you to poverty. If your thing is health, physical, refuse anything that leads me to hurting my health. So your plan includes maybe where we can cut a few costs and where we can make more money if it's financial, if it's relationship, if it's your mental health. Let's say your mental health, then what is it that relaxes you, that makes you mentally healthier? So remember, clutter is a fear of poverty. Socrates said that he is closest to God who needs the fewest things. Maybe because you have more time to connect to the spiritual. So I ask you, what do you need in your life to be happy? And what are you willing to trade for it? So I need to be outside. I need nature. So what do I need? So what can I give for that? What can I give for it? So if I need to be outside, then I give up some of the things that I like to do inside. Maybe I don't cook as much. Maybe I don't clean as much. Maybe I don't write as much. I have to give something up if I want to be outside, or I have to find a way that I can do if I can write outside. If I like to draw, then can I draw outside if I need to be outside? See, it's the same thing as be willing to give something up financially if that's your option rather than making more money if that's what you want. Number two, fear of criticism. And you'll know this because you feel self conscious, you're anxious, if you don't have motivation, if you lack confidence. That's because it's a fear of criticism. So, three, fear of ill health. That can come from physical or social. So, for me, part of it is physical because after that stroke in last Christmas, not this one, but the one before, um, it kind of churned up all the things that happened with the big stroke. Okay, now physical, that that one is it's understandable, but I think most of it came from social, and that is people selling health keeps a fear alive. Now, what I'm talking about people selling health are all the commercials, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on TV, whether it's on magazines or newspapers, everywhere. People are selling a drug or something, some odd things. You'll see celebrities that they use, and are they really taking it or not? Now, Napoleon Hill had talked to a lot of doctors, and at that time, doctors said 75% of all people that doctors see are suffering from hypochondria. The fear produces the symptom of the disease that is feared the most. Now, I don't know if today's doctors would say 75%, and I think we have to keep in our mind that one of the reasons that people are living longer is because we do have um, good research, good medical ideas, and things like that. And there's still also so many times that people are, vaccine, not vaccine. It's you got to kind of pay your nickel and take your chance sometimes. But the thing is, when we constantly are bombarded with, if you have this, you need this drug, and if you have this, you need this drug, that's a whole different thing. That can be a fear that produces the symptom of the disease that we fear. When people go to medical school or dental school or nursing school, and you start learning about all these different diseases, you get sick. People get sick because it's like, well, maybe I have that, maybe I have that, because so many diseases have the very same symptoms. So we need to really think and focus on health rather than sickness if we want to be healthy. Collier's Weekly, which was the big news magazine of the time, fought the ads, any medical ads, and took them to court because they believed in so strongly in this idea. And you used to, in the 70s even, not be able to put drugs on TV. You never would have seen that. You never would have seen ads about lawyers or doctors or dentists. All of those ads, that was illegal until now. We're bombarded with it. Um, in at During the big epidemic, the flu epidemic, the mayor of New York went to the newspapers and asked them to quit doing any news stories about the flu. Now, I don't know when he did this, but within a month, the flu had almost ended, the epidemic in New York. Now, I don't know, But start to think about it. Start to think, what am I seeing? That is from our social idea. So we need to see, what are you being bombarded by? Okay. Fourth fear, the loss of love. Now, mothers are always afraid that something will happen to our kids. We're afraid of something happening to other people, all of those things. And it's a legitimate fear, but what it does create is an overprotectiveness, a controlling thing, jealousy. Nothing good comes from fear. Nothing. Fifth one, fear of old age. Now, I realized that, and I changed mine. Remember, I thought that what I wanted to create was the physical riches of health. But really, my fear was not about the fear of ill health. My fear was this fear of old age, because what we're talking about with this is poverty, illness, loneliness. And this is mine, this next one, loss of freedom, physical, economic independence. That is what I fear. Not being able to take care of myself, do what I want to do, to be dependent on someone else. So my fear that I've thought all my life, my fear was ill health, because that was my mother's fear too. No, it was a fear of the loss of physical independence. So this is the thing that I need to be conscious of. That fear, the fear of old age, kills the imagination. It makes you feel old, that you can't do what it is you want. So we're going to talk about that too. And the last one is fear of death, which is really a ridiculous fear, because first of all, we're all going to die. And in reality, from the time we took our first breath till we die, we are all starting to die. That's the thing. That's our life is a certain length of time. And so it's, what do we do with that length of time? And as far as many people fear what comes next, no one knows. No one knows what comes next. We like to believe what comes next. We're told by people that are supposed to be wise in religion or philosophy of what comes next. But no one knows. And it says actually in the Bible that we can't know, that no one can go and come back. So, there's no point in being fearful about that one. So now, do you have your burning desire? Which one do you fear? And is it the same one that you started out with? Because our desire is, our state of mind is really mental chemistry. Every thought you think, you are creating a neurochemical that goes to your cells, so your vagal nerve. And so your thoughts become your reality. Your thoughts are magnets and they're going to attract situations, people to us. People that are vibrating at the same rate that we are, the same frequency. So who is influencing your thoughts? Who is influencing your thoughts? In my case, who is making me feel old? Who is making me feel that I don't have the right or the ability for my own independence? Again, lots of different factors. So I have to ask myself, how much do I want it? Now, I want you to think about it. When you think about the riches that you've chosen, how much do you want that? Can you see yourself? Question number 2, can you see yourself having it? Having what you already want? Can you see yourself living the way as an independent person, as a person that doesn't have, I mean, I'll have a certain date that I won't be able to do things, but not now. So can you see yourself as having, doing what you want? Can you see, or can I ask you, why don't you have it that way right now? Is it your thoughts? Is it your past programming? What is holding you back? And if you do have it, what is the worry about it? Helen Keller said that no one is ever defeated until they accept defeat as their reality. So, whatever it is you're worried about, until you believe that's your reality, you're not defeated. Now, what difference would it make if you had what it is that you desire? As you build this life, make sure it's a life that fits your soul. I mean, what lights you up? So, health or independence doesn't really matter any more than anything else if it's not going to light me up, if it's not going to bring me joy. What is your unique gift? Think about that. What is your unique gift? And what can you do to serve? What can you give back? What will make you grow? So I'm going to give these to you one more time because I really want you to question this to yourself. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What just makes your eyes light up? What is your unique gift? What is your superpower? How can you serve? How can you give with your superpower? It's part of the price you pay. It's actually part of the price you pay just to be in the world. Because we all need that our legacy is that the world is just a little bit better than it was when we first landed here. So how can you use your superpower, your unique gift to serve? And what is going to make you grow? When you release the fear, you're going to grow. Now, what is your big ask? What do you ask for? What do you want? A dream is just organized thought. You want to keep your mind open because an open mind is about hope and faith and courage. A closed mind is just a wish. Wishes really don't go anywhere. A positive thought has to dominate your mind if you want to produce something, a physical reality. So when you make your plan, I promise to spend 30 minutes a day. Now, this is according to Napoleon Hill and all of these men. And the men were like Ford and Edison, a lot of top guys at that time. And they said, spend 30 minutes a day thinking of the person you intend to be. So you get a clear picture in your mind. So for me, that's 15 minutes when I wake up and 15 minutes when I go to bed. I want my independence. I must strengthen my imagination because fear deters your imagination. I can see what I want to create and do, how I will create my health. Because every thought has a physical equivalent. Become persistent, a bit obsessed. with what it is that you are creating. Now, after that, the second part, now you're going to spend 30 minutes a day thinking of the person you intend to become. So you get that clear picture of that person. And I don't think it's any different than who you are. It's just growing who you are, the best part of you. So, and then you start collecting specialized knowledge. So for me, um, because I want to be outside, because I want physical independence to create what it is I want in life, to be where I want to be in life, I am getting specialized knowledge in plants that are going to grow in my yard because I want to create more beauty. But whatever it is you want to do, get specialized knowledge because it's another part of the price. So I realize I've been collecting knowledge about longevity for a long time. I have bookshelves full of books about happiness, about living to 100, aging with wisdom, just reading a few of the things that I'm looking at. Um, so I have been collecting these things. It's always been really about a fear of independence, a losing independence. A man is one of these things, these have been said in philosophy forever. A man can get anything he can imagine. So that is all that holds you back. There's a saying that if you keep telling everyone of your limitations, you get to keep them. Nobody else wants them. But you have to make sure you never blame someone else. Because if you do, if you blame someone else or a situation of something else, you're giving your power away that somebody else could create this for you. So take responsibility. Another thing that I've seen over and over and over is people say, oh, I should have done this in the past. If it's financial, I should have saved more money. If it's physical, I should have exercised. If it's relationships, I should have paid more attention. You know, those are all so ridiculous. It almost just makes my head explode because there's nothing you can do about it. And it's true. Yeah. We all should have saved more money. We all should have exercised more. That's not for any one person. That's for all of us. Because we don't live in a perfect world and we're not perfect people. But the point is, find what you want now. Start today with whatever it is. Whatever one of these things you want, how you want yourself to grow, start today. Doesn't matter what happened in the past because there's not a darn thing you can do about it. So take responsibility for your life. And remember what you say when you wake up and what you say right before you go to sleep is the time, because you're in self-hypnosis at that time. Your brain waves are in a place where it's very suggestible. So at that time, make a saying, a prayer. You can call it a prayer, you can call it an affirmation, you can call it a spell if you wish. And a saying that you can say over and over and over. Make it simple, but exactly what it is you want to say. I'll be willing to help you if you send a request to me, about exactly what it is you want. Exactly what it is you want. I'll help you figure that out, of how you're going to say it. It might be a little more of a spell if you ask me, but however you want to do it. Now, then you make your plan. For me, if I don't want to lose independence, I have to be healthy. So I will make sure that every day I exercise, that I eat right. I'm doing the mind diet. I'm getting so many steps in. I've been working on weights, and for that, I've been working on a lot of weights using my own body as the weight. So um, I'll be showing you that when we all get together. Sleep is one of the most important times because we need that time to clear our mind, to allow our body to reset, and for our cells to to release the toxins. So you need time between when you eat and when you eat again to allow your body. For me, I need to be creative. I need to create beauty and joy. I want that harmony, nature, so important to me. But these things might not be, well, I think health is important to all of us, but that could be a little bit just me. But what I want you to do is really think about this and think about what you want and what you want to create. To me, this might be the most important one that I have done yet because I think we need to move forward. I think the more that we can thrive, and this will make us thrive, this will be the, it raises our vibrations if we're being authentic, if we're being who we're really, really meant to be. The more authentic we can be, what it is we really need, it makes us stronger. So I hope this works for you. I don't know who is here, but I hope you like it. I'll be very happy to hear from you. And if you want me to help you with getting your affirmation, then send me what it is you really want, and I'll be very happy to help you with that. And so we're talking a little bit about, this is about um, the idea of self hypnosis, meditation, those kind of things is where you use these affirmations. And you don't have to use them just in one place. You can use them throughout the day, the affirmations over and over and over, because we're becoming obsessed. We're becoming this tower that is magnetized to come over. So I use a lot of different things to keep my mind going in a certain direction. So I'll see you next week, and if I'd be happy to hear from you and help you with anything I can. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye bye.